ladies and gentlemen, esteemed delegates, and honored guests. On behalf of Peace for Asia Association, it is an honor to stand before you today at this important conference organized by the Baloch National Movement. We gather here to shed light on the human rights crisis in Balochistan, a region in natural resources that has been subjected to decades of systemic oppression, forced disappearances, killings, and exploitation of its natural resources. One of the most shocking forms of oppression in Balochistan is the exploitation of its natural resources. For over 5 decades, Pakistan has been extracting natural gas from Balochistan, particularly from the Sui gas fields, which were discovered in the 1950s. Despite Balochistan being the primary supplier of natural gas to the rest of Pakistan, the people of Balochistan remain deprived of this very same resource. Take Sui, for example, the town where the gas was discovered. Most of the people in Sui still do not have access to the natural gas. In towns like Sui, where gas was discovered, locals still lack access to this resource, while cities like Lahore and Islamabad, I hope I pronounced that correctly, enjoy these supplies. This is not just an economic injustice, but a violation of the basic rights of the people of Balochistan, whose resources are extracted without local consent or benefit. This resource exploitation has long fueled resentment and unrest, and it only exemplifies the ongoing colonial-style extraction policies that benefit the center at the expense of the periphery. In recent years, there has been a new wave of human rights violations under the disguise of development, particularly through the well-known China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. This massive infrastructure project that is very well known, I hope, involving billions of dollars of Chinese investment, aims to connect China to the water port in Balochistan. While the economic corridor is portrayed as a game changer for Pakistan's economy, for the people of Balochistan, it has brought merely repression and exploitation. The construction of the corridor has led to large-scale land grabs, displacement of local communities, and increased militarization of the region. Under the pretext of securing it, military forces of Pakistan have intensified their operations in Balochistan, leading to a surge in enforced disappearances, killings, and the silencing of any voices. The economic corridor itself has also deepened the economic marginalizations of the Baloch people. While infrastructure is being built to facilitate trade and profits for Pakistan and China, the people of Balochistan are denied jobs, compensation, and even basic services, with Chinese labor certainly being imported for key roles. The so-called development has not improved the lives of ordinary Baloch people, but has instead entrenched their exploitation and deepened their oppression. Alongside economic exploitation, Balochistan continues to witness gross human rights violations. Thousands of Baloch activists, students, journalists, and political leaders, just like us, have been forcibly displaced by Pakistan's security forces, and these enforced disappearances and killings are not isolated incidents but part of a systematic campaign to suppress the Baloch people's legitimate demands for autonomy and self-determination. The ongoing repression and exploitation in Balochistan is not merely a regional issue, it is a global human rights crisis that demands international attention. The international community has a responsibility to encourage both Pakistan and China to respect the rights of the Baloch people. We call upon the United Nations, the European Union, and the international human rights community to launch independent investigations into the atrocities taking place in Balochistan. We urge the global powers to support the right of the Baloch people to determine their own future free from violence, exploitation, and repression. In fact, the struggle of the Baloch people for their rights, land, and resources is not just a political struggle, it is the basic, fundamental human rights issue. Indeed, the ongoing exploitation of the Balochistan's resources and the brutal suspension and suppression of its people's aspirations for freedom cannot be ignored any longer. It is our collective responsibility to amplify the voices of the Baloch people and to work towards justice, once and for all, for the dignity and the self-determination for the Balochistan. Thank you.